Wayne, do we have 6? Noah, we're good? Or do we need one more?
6 is a quorum.
Okay, we got a quorum. Thanks, Iz.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Can you see me now?
No.
Now.
Yeah.
All right. Cooking with chicken grease now. All right. And I cannot see everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, Candy.
Hi, everyone. How y'all doing?
Very good.
I'm counting 5.
We have 6. Me, you, Dr. Stewart, Linda, Michael, and Ekin.
2, 3, 4.
5. If you go to the next screen, Dwayne, I think that's,
Oh,
yeah.
Linda, I did not see you. I'm sorry about that, Linda. I didn't mean to exclude you.
It's all good.
No. You know too many of my family to be excluding you. I'll hear about that forever and a day. Nobody. Okay. All right. Let's be serious. This is soon to be recorded. Okay. Let's call the meeting to order. Oh, recording starts.
Yes, you are good.
Okay. Let's call the meeting to order at 5:05 by my clock. First up is roll call. All right. Commissioner Karen.
Isn't
Who's it? Commissioner Caroline. No. Commissioner Dwayne here. Commissioner Cindy. Nope. Commissioner Susan. Nope. Commissioner Ekin.
here?
All right. Commissioner Linda.
Here.
All right. Commissioner Michael.
Here.
Commissioner Shar. Commissioner Dr. Monica.
Here.
And Commissioner Azra is not here. So we do have a quorum. Cool. All right. Everyone get a chance to review the minutes from the September 17th meeting. Can I get a motion for the approval and filing?
I had mentioned, Izzy, I had trouble reading the second page because it was blocked by, I just couldn't see it all. So I don't know if anybody else had that problem, but whatever I saw, I was able to read, but I couldn't read it all.
All right. So that's
It's
postponed.
like there was a text box that had somehow been expanded and was blocking on some of the content, something like that.
All right. The earlier version that I saw did not have that, but yeah, I can see that this version does. So, all right, let's skip the approval of the minutes until we get that fixed, and then we'll send it back out, and we'll do a approval of those minutes at our next meeting. All right, cool. All right, next up is communications. Hearing none. Next order of business is the update on the domestic partnership registry. I will share that I met with the LGBTQIA task force today to basically share the work of the entire commission, but then also share the work that we're doing as far as this registry is concerned. Huge support in this regard as well. Just sharing, seeing like how we can actually collaborate a little bit more to ensure that everyone understands the importance of this work as well. Understanding that from a federal standpoint, the Supreme Court did not, but understanding that that does not hinder or stop us from continuing this work as well. And so they were in full support of that. And so just want to provide that feedback.
Could I just mention one thing? This Monday, was it Monday that they decided not to hear the case from the woman in Kentucky? That does not mean that marriage equality is guaranteed for a long, long time, because there are many cases in the courts, making their way up to the Supreme Court. And it's my opinion that, we're going to be living with this for quite some time, especially with the makeup of the Supreme Court. So it's doubly important. And we've been given a breather, I suppose, if you want to use that word, to get this on Dr. Page's desk, and either as an executive order or as a vote, or however it's done. So I want to make sure everyone understands what happened Monday is not the end.
Correct.
Oh, I have to be honest though, Michael, when I saw it, I was happy.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
as a step in the whole process, it was just nice to see that denial from the Kentucky case. Holding on to a few good things happening in the course of a week is, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's any reason not to continue on at the county level.
Right.
So true. So true. All right. Kenny, did you have anything to share, or Noah as well in this regard?
I would just put in the input that Chairman James did a great job talking to the task force this morning. He really opened up a good road between the task force and this committee here. And it's a good start, because as things are unstable on a federal level, we need all the allied work we can on this local level to help each other out. So I thought it was a very good first step, and I thank him for his leadership with that.
No, thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite and setting everything up as well. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Noah, did you have anything to share? Or want to share anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to update the commission. At the last meeting, you had asked me to look into whether this domestic partner registry would impact municipalities at all. In looking at that analysis, it became clear to me that maybe we jumped the gun a little bit, and I kind of need to know what rights we would want to be giving with the domestic partner registry before knowing whether those would apply to municipalities or not. So I was thinking maybe there could be a little discussion here tonight, and I would be able to then look into that and get back to you.
I thought we were going to base it off of either U City or Clayton or St. Louis City. That was my understanding, or at least, yeah, that was my understanding.
Okay.
And I apologize.
Go ahead, no, I'm sorry.
I apologize if that was the understanding of the commission. I didn't take that from the meeting, and if that is what the commission was wanting. I apologize. I misunderstood what the assignment was.
No, I appreciate the
Is-
clarification, and I agree with Michael. We looked at those three as examples of that space of this work as well. I think to add additional clarification, it might be good for us to prioritize those. I looked at those, but I didn't look to see exactly if they had differing rights in those. To answer your question in that regard, I would defer to, this is Dwayne talking. This is not everyone.
If I may, for my part, I mean, it would be easy, not easy. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We know that the city has a list that's pretty comprehensive, and that goes from sort of everything in the medical care insurance space. I mean, there are a variety of them, and they're literally could be listed off as bullet points. And then we can be consistent. What I would be curious about is anybody's thoughts. Well, the city is a municipality, whether or not we literally copied one of the other larger municipalities that might be in sync, like U City or somebody else. And that way it's an easier sell to the municipalities to say, hey, by the way, this has already been vetted by one of your, your group in the league, and this seems to be working. I don't know what the value of that is politically or structurally.
Correct. I think from my conversations with county, I would just say, like, when I talked to the task force earlier today, they referenced St. Louis City having this. I know, and so I think that sale might be not sale, but that reference might be good from a county level. But I agree with you. Looking at the municipalities, what does that look like from a municipal to municipal level? So my personal thought, and Michael, I would defer to you for us to have a full vote if necessary on this, is for us to look at the city, but then also just ensure that it matches with what U City actually has or doesn't have in that regard as well.
Well, my thought is, let's make this as easy, as Karen said, and as comprehensive as possible.
So
just to clarify, so that I know exactly what you're looking for, if I go and look at the city, Clayton, and what was the other municipality that you mentioned?
U
City.
U City, and look at all of the rights that are granted by their domestic partner registry, and then analyze all of those rights, that should put us where you want to be, correct?
Yeah,
I think you're going to find there's a lot of sameness between the three.
right.
There are. So yes, I agree.
all right, appreciate that. We're continuing on with the registry on that regard. Next up is new business, and I would turn this over to Kenny to introduce our next guest. Just because I know that was the invite from him on this regard as well. So Kenny, I'll turn it over to you on that.
Wait a minute, which next guest? I wasn't quite ready for
Oh,
this.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Planning department. Joe.
Jesse from planning for the 2050 plan.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see they're on right now. Okay. Well, the 2050 plan has equity built in it, and I know we had previously worked on an equity plan, but all the equity kind of building the county is being built out of the 2050 plan. So the planning department, who has representative here today, is going to talk a little bit about the equity that's built in and thought about in the creation of the 2050 plan, which is one of the premier plans the county has for building equity and where we're going as a county for the next few years. So with that said, I'll just go ahead and turn it over.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate everybody having me
Joel,
here
sorry,
today.
Joel. I see you. Sorry.
That's all right. This is probably the third meeting that I've presented on the comprehensive plan, and I've been called a different name each time, so I just roll with it. It's fine. But appreciate everybody having me here tonight. Yeah, I do have a presentation ready. You'll forgive me. I'm not a pro with WebEx. I mean, we use Teams and Zoom and everything else. So I'm going to try and share this. I will say that this is a pretty comprehensive, pardon the pun, look at the plan. But there's a lot going on here, and I want you all to have at least a holistic view beyond just equity considerations that we've baked into this plan, because I think it's important to have a full picture. But if I get too long-winded, feel free to chime in, give me the high sign, and say, "Hey, it's time to wrap it up because we have lives and we want to move on." So I can give you the condensed version as well. So let me try and share this with y'all and get underway.
You should be able to.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully. I say that now, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm just, again, I try my best with this stuff, but I'm not perfect.
If it's easier, you can email it to me and I'll present it for you. Whatever's easier.
I'm getting it now. Here we go. Okay. All right. Can you all see that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Great, because as soon as the PowerPoint comes on, my whole screen goes goodbye. So again, hello everybody. Joel Hensley. I'm the principal planner in the planning department here at the county. Again, happy to be here to talk about 2050 plan, which, as you can see, the full name of the plan is St. Louis County 2050, an equitable and sustainable comprehensive plan. I know at the beginning here we've talked about equity, but equity and sustainability aren't just a tagline to this plan. It is the full name of the plan, because every one of the 200 policies that you'll see within this plan has an equity and a sustainability consideration in it. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things here. If you'd like to get some more details, more information, stlewiscounty2050.com. That's where the plan lives. And then if you have your cell phone, you want to scan that QR code, that'll take you directly there. So to start with, this is a process, right? Just because we adopt a comprehensive plan, the work doesn't end there. We're currently in the implementation phase, but we didn't get there overnight. It took a lot of steps and time and people to get there. Understanding the county as a whole and engaging with the community, aligning the policies, then creating that action plan. And then now that we've had the plan adopted, we've already gone ahead and held 6 implementation meetings with our stakeholders so that we can align our priorities for where we're moving into essentially next year and the consecutive years following that. So just to give you kind of a background, what is a comprehensive plan? Because not everybody really knows what that is. A comprehensive plan is a tool to guide the future development of a community. It harnesses that collective community vision, combining that with public input and data In particular, this plan has woven together the county influence areas into an integrated vision for our future, resulting in policies that support community goals and aspirations. STL Code 2050 is a long-term vision for the county. And here we can just see a few of the touch points that combine to create this vision. The plan is a blueprint to create lasting positive change within our community. And after 2 years of analysis, our team has created the 5 desired outcomes that we know the county should focus on: safe and thriving communities, fiscally responsible infrastructure, equitable growth and opportunity, housing options for all, and strong and healthy residents. But as you may be aware, we're not quite there yet. So what's stopping us from reaching those desired outcomes? Well, that would be our 5 key issues: population stagnation, job skills mismatch, housing diversity and affordability, social and environmental resilience. And those are just 5 that we've noted, but we'll explore each one of those a little bit more in depth. Starting off with population stagnation. Well, what does that mean exactly? That means our population isn't changing, and we need the people here in order to thrive in our community. So to give you a little bit more insight in what that looks like, essentially back in the 70s, St. Louis area hit its peak, and we really haven't moved anywhere from there. But the problem is other cities like Dallas and Miami and Atlanta, they keep continuing to increase and grow and outpace St. Louis and the region. Now, many people across St. Louis can come to us and they always say, well, I see development all the time, right? You can go pretty much anywhere, you can see buildings being built. While development is good, that doesn't actually mean that we have population growth, right? This chart here that you can see shows that St. Charles County is really the only county in our region that has seen growth in like the last 50, 60 years. And a lot of this growth is actually contributed to out-migrations from other communities within our region. If you watch closely here, you'll just kind of see how the urban and suburban growth has expanded over time. It's kind of a neat set of photos. So, moving on from that one, infrastructure cost burden. What that means is essentially we have more infrastructure right now than we can support at a sustainable level. St. Louis County is very connected. It makes commuting a standard practice across the region, but our road network is currently overbuilt for the population that we're supporting. One staggering statistic is an average home in St. Louis County, just for the street in front of it, that's to the center line, and no more, would take over 100 years to produce enough tax revenue just to pay for that road. So that's pretty staggering. People like to take the path of least resistance in our county, just like water. And since the road network is available and accessible, that's what people do. They use their car for transportation. And additionally, we have an overall dissatisfaction throughout the county for public transit. So we're hard pressed to change our auto-dependent culture based on existing roads and utilization thereof. Next, we look at our job skills mismatch. This one is a lot harder for people to wrap their mind around. But essentially what it boils down to is either we don't have the skills or the jobs that skilled workers are looking for, or the jobs we have don't match the skills that are available in the workforce. This is one of the major contributing factors that we see for out-migration within St. Louis County. As I stated, the mix of jobs offered in St. Louis County doesn't really reflect the jobs needed or desired by our residents. This graph here shows the majority of jobs are low skill, followed by high skill, but there's that missing middle. I'm sure you've heard that word thrown around a lot. Additionally, we do see disparity in our region where the main concentrations of employment exist, where the majority of unemployed residents do not live. So you're going to see that as we kind of move forward throughout the presentation. A lot of these maps of the county, you can almost overlay them to see the disparities in relation to these things. So moving into our next one, housing diversity and affordability. This essentially means that the county doesn't have the adequate amount or mix of housing to support the population we need to be thriving and moving into the future. St. Louis County has seen development pattern that supports large single-family homes on large lots, leaving little room for any other type of housing. Large single-family homes are increasingly unattainable for St. Louis County residents. Most homes in the county cost well over $200,000, and we did a statistically valid survey which showed that most people are not satisfied with the housing affordability within our county. For over a decade, homeownership rates have continued to decline, coupled with rising rents, all while the age of structures within our county continue to get older, and with aging structures, you have more maintenance cost. All these factors push homeownership further out of reach for many of our residents throughout the county. So now let's talk about the factors of social and environmental resilience. This is best demonstrated by what happened with our recent tornadoes, right? Our communities were not prepared socially or environmentally for the impact of that event. And one impact like that can change a person's life in an instant. And we want our residents to be as best prepared. You can't ever be prepared. I came from Oklahoma. We get tornadoes down there a lot. So I know how that affects people. So let's talk about in social and environmental issues and how they're not really evenly distributed across the county. Many of our residents are more vulnerable to the impacts, and often it takes a lot more time to recover, if they recover at all. Many of these factors come to play when measuring resilience vulnerabilities, but regardless, if you're not prepared, you're not going to be able to recover. Again, social and environmental issues are closely tied. We often see these areas of social inequity that are often tied with greater risk for environmental impacts. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of these maps can be overlaid and you can kind of see the similarities across the board. We can see here how heat also follows this path of social and environmental vulnerability throughout the county. Again, overlaying these maps, you just can see a consistent pattern throughout the county. But I do not want to be a doomsday person, right? As a leader in the state of Missouri and in the region, what happens in St. Louis County is critical to the collective future of this region. In St. Louis County, we believe that we have all the tools we need to flourish, and STL Code 2050 is a vision that shows how the county can leverage those tools. But the big thing, the question, is how do we get there? So the comprehensive plan has put together those 5 desired outcomes I spoke about earlier, and then we've also grouped, you'll see a lot of consistency of here, the 5, 5, 5. We put together the 5 policy buckets. The simple answer is, what are these 5 policy buckets? Well, they're policies and they're the action steps. Through this STL Code 2050 process, we created tailored policies that address a myriad of issues and group these policies together into the 5 buckets. These buckets, instead of traditional planning topic areas that you might see in other comprehensive plans, recognize that there's a lot of overlap and a lot of things that move in between these nebulous ideas, such as, how housing and economic development are directly related to transportation and land use. So let's take a look at these policy buckets. And I did, for this audience in particular, pull out some specific policies that I thought might be of interest to you. Happy to share out this slide deck after the meeting if you're interested in that. And again, I'll shamelessly plug our website, stlewis20county2050.com. So first, inclusive economies bucket. This means creating spaces in the county for residents and workers to earn a good living the way they want. These policies ensure everyone has fair access to jobs, resources, economic growth, and hopefully moves the St. Louis County forward. Next, in the communities bucket, we're looking to create strong, connected neighborhoods. This includes housing, jobs, public spaces, transportation, and parks access. The recommendations identify what is needed to create a complete community, not just countywide, but focusing on the various communities and neighborhoods that make up St. Louis County and how they're unique and individual. Next, we'll look at sustainable infrastructure, where we consider the physical components that enable our community to function. Things like utilities, roadway, transit, waterways, even trees. These all support the movement of people and goods on a day-to-day basis. The policies examine opportunities for the county to keep these systems strong, reliable, and affordable. Next up, we have responsible growth, where we acknowledge that growth is good, but it has to be smart. For the past 50 years, we've built without growing our population or our workforce. These recommendations look at where and how the county should grow with clear standards to make sure new development is high quality and built to last for our current residents and our future residents. And finally, through the leading the region policy bucket, the county will position itself by forging strong relationships that lead to successful implementation of the comprehensive plan. St. Louis County is a leader in the region and the state, as I stated before, and this policy bucket aims to form coalitions that can promote strong regional success. So now you know a little about the plan. Here's what we're actually doing, moving into implementation and asking the question, how do we actually move the needle to shift towards those 5 desired outcomes? So I already kind of buried the lead at the beginning. We already started implementation. We had those meetings called implementation orientation because implementation is our mission. Like I said, we do not want this plan to sit and stagnate. We want to move forward because we know we have a lot of things to tackle as a region and as a county. So having said that, what are we actually doing as far as some projects? Well, some of the things that we have upcoming is hopefully in the very near future, as in next year, we'll get an update to our zoning ordinance to modernize and adapt our code to fit the current conditions of the county. We have those implementation orientation series, which will continue into next year, along with what I didn't put up here, and I meant to. We're going to come up with a catchy name, but for right now, we're calling it the Post-Adoption Roadshow, where we'll actually go out into the community and we'll showcase the things that the community gave us input on to show that we're listening and we're enacting those within the plan. And then to continue the integration of the policy from these plans into our county operations. And then finally, the Spanish Lake Small Area Study, which is our first targeted planning effort to come out of the comprehensive plan. And if you weren't familiar, Spanish Lake is up in the northeastern section of the county. This is the study area boundary. The study process is already currently underway. We have gone through the RFP process with the county. We've moved into the selection phase, and then next up is contracting, and we'll get that before the county to say if we're going to proceed or not. So I went as quick as I could. That's my contact information. I'm happy to answer any questions you all might have.
I have a question.
Sure.
You said that's housed at STL.
Yeah, stlewis2050.com.
St. Louis County. St. Louis County.
Yep, 2050.
Got you. .com. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Any other questions? And Jill, I'm not sure if you can answer this question, or maybe this is something that we need to decipher after, digesting the presentation and looking at the slide deck afterwards. From all of the work and what you've seen, what do you see as the or a few of the things that the Human Relations Commission could actually do to support this plan?
That is a great question, and I don't have anything off the top of my head. I will just say that as far as me in the county, I'm relatively new, so I'm happy to know some of the things that you all focus on. And then again, I pulled out policies for you all in the slide deck that I thought would represent some of the work that you could possibly do or the work that you might want to pursue. So I'm happy to have any type of conversation, discussion on how we can partner to move the needle on some of the things that you all care about. Because it's not just about, 100% what we have in the plan, but it's about what people care about and matching those to what's in the plan so that we can have a good discussion on what comes next. I'm not hearing anything.
That's because I muted myself and then I forgot to unmute myself. Saying that, equity is more than just the title in the regards, but we're looking at it and we're also evaluating it throughout the implementation to see as our county continues to change, as things continue to change, that we are continuing to define what equity actually looks like for all individuals in this space and educating ourselves, but then also educating the community as we're doing this work. So that's things that you already know, but I just wanted to make sure that we highlight that as well, that it's not just a plan that sits up and everything is great, but we're evaluating and changing as necessary as communities change. So
100%. And if I could just add on to that thought, is that we have a mandate that every 5 years this plan gets updated. So that's kind of what I'm getting at in a nebulous sort of way, is to say that, if you're looking at these things and you say, oh, we missed the mark, or we need to build on it, or I want to be involved with that, just know that, again, this is the plan for now. Does not mean it's the plan forever.
appreciate it. Any other questions, thoughts, wishes, hopes? I did put in the chat that I would love to get a copy of the slide deck if possible. I think that would be great. And so I guess you could send it to Izzy, and then hopefully, Izzy, you can share that out as part of the meeting minutes, maybe. However you see fit in sharing that with the.
Yeah, I'll do it as a PDF, and that way it's easily sent out. Because I know sometimes with the actual PowerPoint, it just is too big of a file, and sometimes organizations can't receive it. So.
All right. Let me get back to the agenda. All right. No need to go into closed session. 5:40. Next meeting is the January 14th. So a couple of months away, a couple of months off. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion by Stewart.
All right. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Linda. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one, a great one. Be safe, be well.
Good holidays, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
All right.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for everything.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.